Hi, welcome to the Crystal Crawford Show. Wow. I cannot tell you how grateful I am to be here with you. If you guys are catching this for the first time or whatever for in a long time, hi, I'm back. I'm new. It's me. Who's that? Who cares? Welcome to the Crystal Crawford Show, you guys. I am so fucking grateful to be breathing. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful to know you and be in the world. And so let's dive in. I call this week's episode, Why Am I Hiding? And then the rest of it, I can't remember. Hi. And please, if you guys are watching live, comment, say things to me. I just absolutely love it. Tell me your name because sometimes StreamYard doesn't show me. And if you're watching in the future, you're amazing. Just know that I see you. This is called Why Am I Hiding? My Year in Conflict and What I'm Choosing Now because I'm back. And I thought, what better way to kick this off than to let you into a little bit about what this last year and a half has been like for me, to invite you to check out myhonestpodcast.com because I've actually this whole last month been creating a private podcast for you that is a totally different way of me sharing my process. And it's actually recorded in real time. It's not me trying to be a facilitator, not me trying to give you tools. It's what's been happening for me. And I created that podcast because about a month ago, a lot of you may have noticed that over the last year since my move to Latin America that I sort of disappeared. Hi, Tina. And even if I was still present, I was not really present. I noticed it too. And there's a lot to that. There's a lot of backstory. And so if you want all the backstory, go myhonestpodcast.com. Check that out. But the bottom line is that when about a year and a half ago in July of 2021, we moved to Latin America. And there's a lot of story to that of why we did it, but we did it. And it began a period of time for me that was me coping rather than living. And the reason I titled this, Why Am I Hiding, is because I started hiding me, trying to do the things that I promised you I would do, show up to the things that I promised you I would show up to, and while dying. Okay. Now, I am very dramatic, yes. But also, honestly, like I was really, really, really having a hard time. Now, at the time, it could have been easily attributed to outside factors, right? I think in one fell swoop, I chose all the stressors. Anybody would tell you, like, I think something like moving and a new relationship are like the two biggest stressors or something like that, or having a baby and moving. Not only did I move, but I moved to another country, etc. There was a lot of different things, and I go into all that on the podcast. But the bottom line is that what I chose ended up contracting everything and compressing everything, including me. And about a month ago, I started going to look for my joy. Have you guys heard of that phrase, money follows joy? So thank fuck that we have money to facilitate us. Can I just get like an amen or a hoorah or something? Now, you guys might not be grateful for that yet, but trust me, you will be. Because, when you choose that, when anybody chooses that to hide themselves or compress themselves, hi, Gitte, hi, Tina, then when everything goes hard, just everything goes hard, right? Money goes hard, business goes hard, everything goes hard, your relationships are hard because you're not living, you're dying, essentially. Coping is dying. So about a month ago, I was like, okay, what the fuck is it going to take to change this? Now, for any of you guys that are, really wanting something different in 2023, because in real time, it's January 2nd, and you're really, really looking at your lives and going, what the hell is it going to take? And by the way, if you have any questions on this, or if this is bringing up questions, please post them here. I'll include them. The only thing you really have to look at is, am I living or dying? Okay. So when you're hiding, compressing, contracting, surviving, you're dying. And that's why when you go to do living things, like you put on a class or you try to put offers out there, or that's business stuff, but I don't even know, try to change stuff in your relationship or try to change stuff with your body, it doesn't really work that well, because underneath it all, you're dying. And as extreme as that sounds, it's really that simple. It's if you look in nature, for example, trees are either living or dying, plants are either living or dying, animals are either living or dying. So it's a natural thing. So when you want to change something, the first thing you have to go looking for is your choice for living. And I started looking for I'd been looking for it, but I started making a big demand of myself about end of November. So it's January 2nd, so about 6 weeks ago. And the way that I couldn't figure out how to move forward exactly. I've been doing a bunch of stuff and I've been interacting to a degree, but there was no me in it. Like, where am I? Where's my joy? Where's my joy? Where's my joy? So I just started with opening up my phone and talking into it, which is actually where this podcast got created. So you can check it out at myhonestpodcast.com. It's a private podcast. And I started talking into my phone, and that episode is called Money Follows Joy. Where's mine? It turns out that the very act of choosing to create started stimulating something new. I don't know why that makes me cry. I did just have a private session with Gary Douglas today, so I might be tender. That very choice to start creating changes the energy. So for those of you guys that don't know where to start, I want to encourage you to do anything, like do something really, really simple and just start somewhere. So I opened my phone and I started talking into it and started telling my story. Up to then, I hadn't really been talking about it to anybody. And the thing about access consciousness is one of the keys to absolute freedom is to not tell or listen to or buy your story. And that's true. Like when you're buying your story about why you're fucked up, the only person you're killing is you. But this was more like I needed to move some energy, right? And that's the thing that actually gets everything moving. That's actually living. I would say living is engaging with choosing, and that's what moves the energy, right? Like when you start to engage and you start to create and you just choose stuff, that's where the energy starts to move. And that's where everything becomes possible. When you are compressed and contracted and waiting for the right choice, or waiting for clarity, or, clamping everything down until you kind of know what you're doing, or hiding you, which is why I called Why Am I Hiding? Then the energy is not moving. So you're trying to create everything into a still point so that you can then fill in the blank, right? So that you can survive, so that you can protect yourself, so that you can whatever. And that's the thing that makes you non-functional. So, I started talking into my phone, and of course I'm like talking to my phone and my voice is all hoarse because I've been crying. I'm sitting alone on my beautiful balcony in the beautiful Colombia, with this beautiful life going, I'm happy. But what I did know that I could choose was to choose again. I knew that I could choose something. I knew that I could start creating something. And if I just would be willing to start, that the energy would move. So I started there. And then there was another nugget that I wanted to share. So another episode came out. And then from there, I started really looking, things started moving again. And I just kept getting awareness after awareness. I recorded an episode with Andres and I where we tell you both sides of the story, what it's been like for us. And then there was another thing. And so it just kind of kept going. And now there's like 25 episodes in there. They're not long, but but what's occurred over the last 6 weeks is, yes, a podcast. So, something can always come out of your process. Okay. Doesn't matter what your process is, or how long it takes, or how inelegant it is, or how messy it's been. Something can always come out of it. My friend Maxine is one of my dearest people. She writes, and she has all these different writings from different periods of her life. Some are more angst ridden than others. Some are more beautiful. Some are love stories. They're all different. They're all over the map, right? Different phases of her life, but compiled, they're going to be this arc, this legacy she can leave the world, because in everything is her. And that's the thing, you guys, is like the thing about you is that you're a gift. And I didn't feel like a gift. And I didn't know where to start with this thing of like changing my own life, but I just started somewhere. And so please take that as the goal that it is, and just start somewhere. So anyway, so the podcast. But I also wanted to broaden this, really, really, really speak to this thing of hiding and compressing ourselves so much, and then trying to find our way forward, and why that doesn't work. You are this mega being. You're not the limitations of your body. You're this mega infinite being. And even I don't choose as a mega being. I choose as a finite being most of the time. Choosing as an infinite being is going to be my new facilitation, my new adventure. That school that I have, Infinite Being School, I'm actually going to start applying it to my life. But so you are this mega being. And so the more you try to move forward in the structures and the rules and the judgments and all the stuff that we do to ourselves, and you try to be you in that. I'll give you an example. The more I tried to do me rather than be me, the smaller everything, the harder everything got, because I was actually trying to do me based on the things I thought I should be doing, rather than being the me that is this like herky-jerky circus mess with great makeup. You know what I mean? And so the more I was trying to do me rather than be me, the harder and harder and harder everything got, because I had to constantly judge what I was doing or not doing in order to choose what to do. So it was just a mess. And this is the thing that makes our life hard. And this is the thing that makes our life small. And this is the thing, what you've decided you can't share and what you've decided you can't expose about you creates the tininess of your world and the difficulty of creating. So I might have something for us. What have you decided that you can never expose about you? That if you were willing to expose it to you, would gift you movement and clarity beyond your wildest dreams? And everything that doesn't allow that to show up, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, POD, POC, all nine shorts, boys, povids, and beyonds. That's the clearing statement. You can go to clearingwithcrystal.com to watch a whole video on it. Is hiding you until you're ready. This is what I was doing. Let me tell you, give you an example. I was hiding me. I was essentially hiding me until I felt like I had this relationship shit together. Now, I did an episode on this, but about a year ago, I was doing a lot of content, or doing a lot of stuff with my partner, Andres. And I got a private message one day from a girl that said, "I love your stuff. Oh my God, you've changed my life." But basically, why don't you find a better guy? We don't really want content with you and him. We really want you. And it doesn't really look like this relationship's really working for you that well. I'm paraphrasing very badly. And I knew that she was really sort of doing this girl power thing. Hey girl, you're awesome. Why don't you drop the dead weight, essentially? And I thought at the time that I was just taking that in and okay, cool, another, opinion, cool. But it wasn't very long after that I stopped doing the Crystal Crawford show. I stopped sharing with you guys what was going on for me. I stopped sharing. And the truth was that my life had really become very, 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 very integrated with Andres. Like almost everything that was coming up for me, that I was looking at, that I was choosing beyond, that I was creating from, had something to do with relationship stuff. And so because of what she said, I used what she said to go, oh, people don't want this, so I won't be me. And that lasted for almost a year. And I can tell you that was very, very hard. And so 6 weeks ago, when I was working my way out of this, I was choosing my way into something else. And out of that came this podcast. I started just allowing myself to have the conversations that I hadn't been allowing myself to have because I had judged that it wasn't what people wanted. It turns out that those conversations are life-changing. And so for you, is there anywhere that you are not choosing, not sharing, not exposing parts of you or all of you because you've decided that they're not ready, that they're not pretty, that they're not sexy, that they're not hot, that they're not educated enough, that they're not experienced enough? I mean, pick your judgment. And are you using that to not be you in the world, not share you, not be generous with you? Have you decided you can't be generous with the you that you are, essentially? And that's what I had decided. I'm like, oh, I can't be generous with me because people don't want that. So man, but I mean, Jesus Christ, you guys, every time I go through something, so much comes out of that. Like there's 2 new clearing loops in the shop, for example, clearing the need for validation, clearing the not being a valuable product. Infinite Being School Prime came out of that. The 30 by 30 of like, what energy, space, and consciousness can I be to be the valuable product in my reality? So it's not that there haven't been gifts that come out of this, and there isn't, and it's not that there aren't gifts that are coming out of what you're choosing now. It's that what else? What else? And what I realized is that when I stopped being generous with me because of whatever I had decided, that everything got smaller and harder. And I didn't want to choose that anymore. So know this, no matter where you're at today, wherever you're at today is what you've created so far. What you can create in the next 10 seconds, next day, what you can create next can be totally different, new. You have a new choice in every moment. And so I want you guys to take a minute, if you want to, and really look around your life and really go, okay, cool, wow, what have I created so far? And I want you to notice the good and the bad and the ugly. Just notice all of it. What have I created so far? For me, I've created a lot of finite being this year. I've created a lot of life change this year. I've created different futures. I've created a new family, a new husband. I've created a really different relationship reality from the one we started out with and from the one we came to Panama with. I've created a session with Gary Douglas today that is going to change our whole future. I've created change, and I've created magic, and I've created miracles, and I've created like all the things. I've done all the things, created all the things. I've created more possibilities, more space for people to contribute to me. There's so many things. So look at what you've created this year, all of it. Take the full spectrum, because you don't just create crap. We're good, bad, and ugly. It's everything. And then go, okay, cool. Now what can I choose? I created all this. Now what can I choose? And if you want to, you can give yourself a word for the year just for fun. instead of doing goals or targets or any of that, I do, what's the word for this year? And the word for this year for me is 2 words: liking me. This is the year of me liking me. And it's probably more the year of me being me. And more than anything, what I want out of this year, and this is what I want you to look at for you. What do you want to get out of this year being you? What I want to get out of this year is the richness and the fortune of what I am, and the willingness to choose to be that in the world more. The only reason we have any doing at all is so shit gets done, shit gets instituted. Doing isn't the thing. Doing comes out of the being. The gift is you, the being. And you, the being, is good, and you, the being, is bad, and you, the being, is ugly, and you, the being, is all kinds of things. What would it take this year to be willing to be all of that and to gift all of that? And if you're not willing right now, it's totally cool. I will just keep being me. The thing is that your being and my being are really beautiful. And the more we're willing to contribute that by being it around other people, walking into rooms, offering ourselves, offering how we see things, the more the world gets to have that beauty. And so, Gary says in the valuable product stuff in the reference materials, he's like, as you're looking to create yourself and choose you as the valuable product in your reality, he's like, you guys don't choose this because you'd have to change your point of view from judgment to aesthetics. But if we're willing to really cultivate ourselves as the valuable product in our reality, to like ourselves, we get to then have and experience and see the beauty of ourselves and of everything else around us. So, welcome back to my ADD romps through all kinds of topics. I am going to be asking you guys what you want to hear more about, and also I'm going to be including my journey just like I do. If you want more backstory and more real-time, short, potent ahas, and also the hard moments, the things that I'm looking at, go to myhonestpodcast.com, because that is where all the in the moment stuff is going right now. There's 4 episodes on the wedding. I'm going to do an episode about my session with Gary Douglas. There's just like all kinds of good, fun, rich nuggets in there that I'm just going to keep contributing to. So check that out. And I adore you. Happy 2023. Happy moment. What would it take to be willing to live the energy of what we would like our life to be so it can show up for us in totality? And everything that doesn't allow it, and all the thoughts, feelings, emotions, and no sense that we're using to absolutely refuse and reject our life and the energy we'd like our life to be, let's destroy it and create it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all night, shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds. See you next time.